What's going on, guys? Arekkz here, and welcome back to another Division 2 video. And today I'm standing next to Matthias Karlson, the game director on Division 2. How are you doing?
I'm excellent.
Yeah?
Excellent,
how's the E3 been for you?
It's been fantastic.
Has the reception for the game been great?
Yeah, it's been great. It's so great. You know, I've getting to finally show everyone what we've been doing. We got a lot of good energy. It's last day here, as you can tell, perhaps.
No.
We're happy. We're happy.
Brilliant. You know, everyone in the comments and stuff have been really looking forward to the game, excited for stuff. So definitely, you guys have been doing a great job.
Thank you so much.
So let's kick things off. Starting off with specializations, of course, like new kind of sort of like thing coming into Division 2. Now we know from going hands-on, you know, you get a signature weapon with it, which is really cool. I had a lot of fun with the grenade launcher yesterday.
Cool.
But do specializations go further? Like, how outside of having that core weapon, what else does a specialization offer me?
Well, specializations, the signature weapon is really just the beginning, and that is your first choice. It's like, okay, so you get to end game, and you get that pick. Then of course there's a further progression track that unlocks with the specialization. You're going to be unlocking some new extra goodies going forward. Kind of culminating in unique versions of skills that are then mutually exclusive for those specializations. Okay,
cool. Because that was going to be my sort of next point. Like, so I think sort of you mentioned in passing in one of the streams that certain specializations might synergize slightly better with certain skills. So will there be kind of those situations where you'll actually pick a specialization because you want to play a certain skill?
Absolutely, that could be absolutely valid. Absolutely, yeah. But I want to point out that it's all about. This is not about limiting yourself, right?
Right. Okay.
Specializations, they sit on top of the the toolbox you've been building up throughout the campaign and the gear, and so the signature weapon and anything you get in a specialization sits on top of that. Then of course, if you want to really target a certain skill or that skill that you unlock with that specialization, that is absolutely valid.
Okay, so there will be some skills or some like versions of skills that are tied to specializations. Right. Okay, and I take it there's no way to then move them across, so you couldn't suddenly take like a skill from, say, the sharpshooter, take it over to demolitionist.
No.
Okay, fair enough.
But you're not locking yourself in.
Yeah.
Right? Like
you can swap whenever you want.
You can swap whenever you want. You can build them all up to 100%. Very much along the same lines of the design philosophy we always have about building more opportunity. And then making decisions within that landscape, right?
All right, nice. And on the skill front, is there still the same sort of like depth we had in number 1 with regards to talents and perks that then sort of support the underlying skills, and of course then the modifications on the skill front as well?
Absolutely, we're just as committed to having depth and variety in the whole gear game and all the RPG systems. We put a lot of emphasis on refining. The combat ranging from the shooter game, throughout the gear game and the RPG system. So there's gonna be you're gonna have the mods there. You're gonna have even clearer, I would say, pros and cons within a single skill platform. More involved skills in many ways, where you get to override targeting for certain elements and stuff like that. Right.
Fair enough. So can I'm a Firecrest guy.
Yeah.
Can I get a flaming drone?
Maybe not.
Okay, all right, fair enough. So moving on from there, can you tell us a little bit more about like I know we haven't heard too much about Dark Zone right now, but you mentioned there'll be other stuff to do in the Dark Zone outside of kind of what we've done thus far. So how can you give us any sort of insight into some of the new things we might be able to do?
What I can say is that the Dark Zone is going to be there.
Okay.
That the Dark Zone is of course a one of our key focus areas. I mean, the Dark Zone has always been super dear to us. We acknowledge that it's not been perfect all the time. But we're super committed to really taking the essence of that experience and keep evolving and improving it. Right. So what we're doing in Division 2 is very much the evolution of the Dark Zone.
Right.
And I can promise you that there will be new things for you to do in there that you have not done before.
Okay. So, could we potentially hope for an increased player count in there at least, or at least a means to direct people, into encounters so we see people more frequently?
Seeing people more frequently is it's a good way of putting it.
Okay, fair enough. So moving outside of that, just like more broadly speaking, what were a couple of things that you really wanted to address in light of Division 1? Moving into the sequel, a couple of things you really wanted to try and fix, improve. Like, what were your key focuses?
I think we looked at, of course, almost everything. There's so much there's so much wealth of feedback and information and things we can gather from the releasing the first game and running it for over 2 years, right? So if I were to highlight a couple of things, one major focus we had is to make the open world experience much more dynamic, varied, and permanent. Right. So there is absolutely no sense of consuming the open world. So the enemy factions of the world, as well as the civilians that are acting within it, they are all running simulations based on their needs and goals and things that they need to achieve, tied to certain locations throughout the world, right? So this creates a lot of replay value, a lot of variety, and ultimately surprise for you as a player as you go from there, right?
Okay.
And then of course we said day one that this endgame first philosophy we have, like we're really putting a lot of focus and effort on making sure that we have a lot of endgame at day one, right? Not least the raids. We're super excited.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I've been asking.
Not least as gamers, making the game. To have that 8-man experience in raids, and but also that we have. I think the way we think about endgame, on a high level, right? Is we need to make sure that the world. In many ways, the more you play the game, the more there is to do.
Yeah. Okay. I see.
You're widening yourself, and you're also widening what the world and the game has to offer in terms of activity, and that those things evolve and change. That's something we're saving a little surprise for the game as a whole at the start of Endgame, and then for you as a player thinking about your character. That on top of the gear game. There's the specializations that takes a step further.
Okay. And you mentioned about sort of the open world not being something you kind of consume per se. Does that mean that these activities, you could effectively come back week in, week out, and sort of, there'll always be something for you to do.
Absolutely.
Okay,
that's fun.
So, and one of the things that we saw from the demonstration were the settlements. And obviously, we kind of got a brief look at it. We helped the civilians. They set something up, and we were able to give them resources. But what does that actually do? I mean, if I were to kind of deliver all those resources, what does that offer me as a player?
It offers you rewards and progress in several ways, and not least, it enables the civilians to also be more capable out in the world,
right? I see.
Which benefits you in whatever you're doing there, because as you might have noticed that when you play the demo, you can call them in to actually join into the fight. The civilians are much more than victims in this world. They have their fights and struggles as well to contribute with.
Okay, brilliant. Okay, so next up, another thing to ask: what is your sort of philosophy behind like the raid design? So, obviously we've had things like incursions in the past, which are a little bit more sort of wave-based. Whereas, are we looking at a slightly more traditional raid experience, talking like mechanics we need to learn, bosses, proper encounters, things like that, like puzzles to solve? Can we expect that sort of thing?
Short answer, yes.
Yeah.
We really want to take you on a unique, bespoke, experience and challenge, right?
Yeah.
So it's not just about besting the enemies we put in front of you. It's really about figuring out how do we do this, what do we need to do at any given moment, how do we coordinate as two full groups of 8 people, and we really want to take it to the next step there. Okay,
I mean you referenced as well like two kind of groups. Would it still be one of those things where we go in as 2 groups of 4, or are we looking at an actual like 8-man team up full kind of squad like that?
It's we're looking at how to really work with the number 8 in different ways, right? So exactly how you team up, matchmaking, etc. It's not something we really talk about yet.
Fair enough.
Looking at my fair guy here, but it's really, we're really excited about what we can do with that number. And how we can have that interact in different ways.
Fair enough. Brilliant. Well, I mean, I can't wait, because I've been asking for like raids. I've been like hoping there'd be raids ever since like the alpha of Division 1. So this is going to be
we're super excited.
It's going to be really cool. So final question, very important, right? Pizza is obviously an important food out there, but pineapple on pizza.
Staple diet.
I know, right? But pineapple on pizza, where do you stand on this?
I'm a strong supporter of pineapple.
Really?
Pineapple
okay,
pizza,
That's almost like a different faction itself. I feel like we're now opposing factions.
We are
opposing factions.
How big are they roughly?
They're pretty big. I feel like the anti-pineapple force is pretty strong. We're gonna go to war in the division now.
Okay.
I'll use the clans and make the anti-pineapple clan.
That can be the pineapple.
There we go. Right, there we go. But for the time being, that's pretty much it. Massive thank you for you guys for watching. Thank you so much for spending time with me.
Thank you so much for coming by.
Do you have anything kind of like last random messages for the division community out there?
We love you. Please keep doing what you're doing, giving us energy and all the feedback. It's really a treasure and something we use every day.
Nice.
So stick around, sign up for the beta, and
yeah, definitely.
March 15th next year.
It's gonna be exciting. Yeah. So for the time being, thank you for watching, guys. Make sure you keep it locked. Got plenty more division coverage coming your way. Take it easy. Catch you later.